Welcome to everything Vidya cooks and eats in a busy working week. She may seem to have her life together, but in time, you'll realize she's very clumsy.
Oh my god. It's not focusing. Ooh, look at
But we'll
that.
share with you all her
With
cooking
some
tips
Indian fried
and
rice.
marvelous food with an Indian flair.
So good. Now for the fun part, I'm just gonna take the bottom of a cup and smash down each and every one of them. Roasted to about 30 minutes, depend.
All this entertainment, even setting her smoke alarm off. Did I mention clumsy?
Let's do a little taste test.
So sit back, grab an iced coffee and enjoy this vlog.
Look at that cheese pull.
In a stunning display of food vlogging excellence, she totally forgot to film her breakfast, because who needs consistency, right? Anyway, let's just pretend that never happened and skip straight to Monday lunch. Crushing this food vlog thing already, Vidya.
I also have some leftover Taylor Farm salad that we made together on Sunday. So what I essentially did is just mix up the basil pesto pasta with the Taylor Farm salad, and I essentially made a new dish, a basil pesto pasta salad. Anyway, it tastes very good. So the two shows I'm currently hooked on is Lost and Parenthood. Growing up, I remember Lost being such a big deal when it first came out on cable TV. 90s kids, if you know, you know. I didn't get the hype of it, but now I get the hype of it. Also simultaneously watching Parenthood. I know right now Squid Games is like poppin', but haven't watched the first one, so I probably wouldn't get what the second one is. I'm a little scared. Is it gory? Is it mentally kind of sickening, or is it just like Hunger Games essentially? Let me know. What are you guys currently watching, binge watching? So yeah, I'm currently catching up on that.
You came here to make a deal?
Now, let's move on to her Monday dinner.
Hi bestie, hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's make some dinner. If it's one thing I recommend is buying bagged or pre-cut vegetables. I recently discovered pre-cut white onions, and it is a game changer because all I have to do is just break it apart and I got some onions. I'm going to be using half of this. If you don't have fresh onion, you can use red onions. You can also just substitute with onion powder. Before I forget, I have to replenish my salt. Every time I use salt like this, it reminds me of Art Attack guy. He would make like cool little floor designs using salt. If you're a 90s kid, you know what I'm talking about. We got some salt.
Let's get cracking on that tofu bhurji for dinner.
Pour some extra virgin olive oil to a non-stick pan. I'm essentially going to start to temper whole spices with aromatics. A few pinches of asafoetida, also known as hing in Hindi and peringayam in Tamil. Now I'm going to turn on the stovetop to a low setting, and we're just waiting for cumin and the mustard seeds to start sizzling a little bit. So the recipe that I'll closely be following is already up on the CTD website under recipe index. It's the paneer Bhurji recipe, but since I don't got any paneer, I'm going to be substituting the paneer with tofu. We essentially wanted to make it into a crumble texture, medium to extra firm tofu. So our cumin and mustard seeds are starting to sizzle, and this is the perfect time to add our aromatics, garlic, ginger, as well as onions. I'm essentially just gonna saute this until the raw smells disappear from it. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. The salt actually helps to draw out all the water from the onions. If you have any spinach or kale or any other greens, now would be the perfect time to throw that in, but I don't have any, so I'm just gonna be using what I have on hand. Add the lid on top, and we're just gonna let the onions cook a little bit more. It's been about a minute, so I'm just gonna remove the lid. Give this a quick saute. This is what the onions be looking like. Now we're gonna add our tomato paste. I'm using half of this canned tomato paste, and the other half we'll use for another dish. Give this a nice saute. This is how she be looking like. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. You see the tomatoes clumping around. That essentially means that the moisture is being evaporated. Now let's add our spices. Half a teaspoon turmeric, 1 teaspoon red chili powder. You can cut this down to half a teaspoon depending upon your spice preference. 1 teaspoon coriander powder, 1 teaspoon cumin powder, as well as 1 teaspoon garam masala. We're gonna give this a nice mix. And now we're gonna add our tofu. Wooden ladle. Honestly, this does the job. This is what our Bhurji is looking like. Since I don't have any green chilies or red Thai chili, I'm gonna use crushed red chili flakes, dried parsley, as well as some Italian seasoning. Give this all a good mix. I'm just gonna add the lid and let the steam do its job and allow the flavors to marry one another. I'm still keeping the heat at a medium setting, and in that time you just want to stir it to prevent any burning in the bottom.
A few moments later.
This smells so good. This looks beautiful. Let's do a little close-up. It's not focusing. Ooh, look at that. At this stage, let's do a little taste test. Also, if you don't got these tiny spoons for your taste testing, like, what are you doing? Cheers. It tastes really good, but I think it needs a little bit more salt. Sometimes if something smells good but tastes a little bit flat, sometimes a little bit of salt or MSG works wonders. Toss this together. For a little bit of smokiness in this, I'm going to be adding Tandoori Masala. If you need a substitution for Tandoori Masala, I'll leave it somewhere around here. Tandoori Masala usually has a little bit of a red food dye, so that's what gives it the nice, rich red color. And to counteract the spiciness, what I also like to do is add a teaspoon of sugar. The sugar really helps to balance out all the spicy flavors in this dish. Before doing a final taste test, I am going to close this baby up, reduce the heat to a 3 to 2 setting, and let this simmer for a good 2 minutes.
But has it really been 2 minutes?
Who needs a steam facial when you can just do this by cooking?
Because you're a povo.
She be looking extra delicious. Cheers.
Shall we get a close-up replay of that? Didn't I tell you she was clumsy?
Let's do a final taste test. The sugar helped so much. If you have some cilantro, sprinkle that in. If you want long, luscious hair, nails, skin, fenugreek leaves or fenugreek seeds are so good for your health. So all you're gonna do is put it in the palm of your hands and just rub it in between. The natural oils that are in your hands will break down the fenugreek leaves. At this point, I'm gonna turn off the heat and it'll still be cooking with the residual heat. At this stage, I like to add some fresh lemon concentrate. Goes perfectly with the spices. And that's another trick. If you want to reduce a spice in a dish, any acid, such as lemons and lime concentrate, will absolutely help in that. And just like that, we ended up making a whole entire delicious tofu Bhurji for a weeknight dinner. I am so excited to plate this up and do a final taste test. Chapati we made yesterday, as well as the onion salad that the ingredient prepped on Saturday. Let's do a little taste test. Chapati, tofu Bhurji.
Pause for a second. My goodness, Vidya, even I'm drooling. Okay, proceed.
The true Indian way. Chase it down with an onion. That is so good. If you don't have chapatis and you need a substitution, you can also do plain toasted bread. Definitely toast it. Don't do just plain bread. Store-bought rotis, tortilla wraps, those go beautifully. I'm gonna finish my dinner and then I'll see you tomorrow.
FYI, it's currently Tuesday, 2 p.m.
Good morning. Please excuse the hot mess of hair. I have like hair oil situation going on. Only thing that I've had since I woke up was a cup of coffee. Just wanted to quickly pop on here and say your batch meal prepping and your freezer meal prepping will be your go-to besties on days like today when you're super tired and you have no mental load or physical capacity to make an entire meal for yourself. I actually made this no chicken noodle soup a couple of weeks ago when I was like bedridden sick, and I just popped it in my freezer. All I'm gonna simply do is pour this in my bowl and heat it in the microwave and then eat it with some garlic bread. That sounds super delicious. So this is a little lovely reminder. If you haven't already, take a few moments, step aside from your computers, have your lunch, go out for a little walk, go get some movement in, and then we can continue grinding like we usually do. And this, my friend, is our Tuesday lunch. I love when the garlic bread is like extra toasted. Let me know in the comments down below if you're also like that. I'll see you during dinner prep. Bye. This mint tea is exactly what I need right now. I'm starting at around 6:30 p.m. I'm gonna be doing Vangi Bhath. In English, if I would translate it, it would be a green capsicum or green bell pepper fried rice. Preparing the rice in the Instant Pot, separate from the masala mixture. Only reason why I do that is because I recently recipe tested a mushroom fried rice all in the Instant Pot, and the basmati rice became a little too extra mushy. To prevent that from happening, I'm going to be cooking the basmati rice separate, first in the Instant Pot, and then mixing in with the bell peppers masala mixture that we'll be making on the stovetop. To go along with our capsicum fried rice is a cumin sauce raita. This is the raita that I kind of lived off of when I moved out at the age of 22 and lived on my own in Toronto. Didn't have that much and didn't also want to accumulate a lot of spices in my pantry because, come on, your girl was working with a budget. This is very budget friendly. It cleanses the palate, and any spices that are in our capsicum fried rice will complement so beautifully.
This is what Vidya calls doing one thing that'll help her future self. Steaming some leftover potatoes in the Instant Pot now itself for tomorrow's lunch, a smashed potato grilled cheese sandwich. I'm already drooling. Please excuse my excitement.
Oh my god. If you want a trick to make sure there's no bugs or anything in your rice, just stick a dried bay leaf or even cinnamon sticks, and that always helps. 2 cups of basmati rice. I'm just gonna wash and drain my basmati rice. Be right back. So I've washed and drained my basmati rice. To this, adding 2.5 cups of water. Trick that my mom always taught is essentially to dunk your finger, and as long as it reaches the first line of your index finger, that should be good. Before putting our container inside, you want to use a trivet, adding around 2 cups of water directly into the Instant Pot, and that'll help potatoes cook and the rice to also steam. And just make sure that your whistle is set to sealing and not ventilation. Press the rice button. It takes about 10 minutes. Roughly takes about 15 to about 30 minutes, depending upon the size of the potatoes to cook in the Instant Pot. Once the rice is done cooking, we're gonna check on the potatoes so that we can nicely make it into smashed potatoes. Let's make some cumin sauce raita. Obviously, you need some plain yogurt. Greek yogurt also works well. If you have some homemade dahi, that also works. Okay, 2 pinches of salt. A little bit of water. You want it sort of like a pancake batter, but on the runny side. So the salt actually helps to draw out the liquids from the yogurt itself, which is why I definitely recommend adding 1 pinch at a time. Do a little taste test. And a pinch of parsley. This is what she'd be looking like. I'm gonna give this a nice stir. If you have a little bit of extra time or just want to elevate the taste of cumin a little bit more, is to just dry roast a teaspoon of it on the lowest setting that you can go on your oven for about a minute or so, and then add that into this. The aroma of that is absolutely beautiful. So we're gonna first check if the potatoes are nicely cooked with a fork. You can nicely poke it through. If it's ripped up like that, then that means it's a good steamed potato. I let the rice cool a bit so that it's easier to remove the lid. This is the fluffy basmati rice. For my tadka, so you want some whole cashews that are unsalted. I'm using some dried red chilies, half of a bay leaf, as well as 3 cardamom cloves, and I don't know if you can see this, but just a teaspoon of cumin seeds. Diced onions, our cut capsicums, as well as 1 cube of ginger and garlic. The trick to make sure that the capsicum steam and cook without actually burning it, I'm gonna splash a little bit of water, 2 teaspoons max, saute it a little bit more, leave it at medium temperature, and just pop the lid on. We're gonna let the capsicums cook for about 2 minutes, stirring in between and just ensuring that the water doesn't evaporate. And for putting the rice is adding Vangi Bhath powder. This is from the brand MTR. This is how the capsicum should be looking like. The only way to ensure the capsicums are cooked is just by doing a taste test. It still needs a few minutes. Sometimes when you add the rice, the entire dish becomes a little dry. Teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. If you have ghee, that's also a perfect time to add that. Just like pasta, we want to let the rice marry and marinate with the spices. It is looking gorgeous. And as always, let's do a little taste test. Because we added in the rice, I'm gonna add 1 more teaspoon of the Vangi Bhath and 1 more teaspoon of the salt. Give this a nice toss. This smells so damn good. This is like perfection. And this, my friend, is what I call a balanced diet. We not only made a delicious and homemade Vangi Bhath, but we also made some homemade Raita. I paired it with the sweet potato curry that we made yesterday. And of course, for some crunch, some good quality crinkle cut chips, because that's the South Indian thumber girl in me, to always eat some good crunchy potato chips with some Indian fried rice. So good.
மயங்கவா உன் பண்பை நினைக்கவா உன் அழகை ரசிக்கவா உன் அன்பில் மூழ்கவா உன் இசையில் மயங்கவா உன் அறிவை வியக்கவா உன் பரிவில் நிகழவா உன் புகழில் திளைக்கவா பாட்டுக்கெல்லாம் உயிர் கொடுக்கும் கலைஞர் நீதானே பண்பிற்கெல்லாம் உறைவிடமும் என்றும் நீதானே
Hi. It's a good thing that we prepped our potatoes yesterday. So all I have to do is just lay it on the tray, smash them, and then roast them in the oven. For today's lunch, I thought we'd do roasted smashed potatoes that combines both Indian flavors as well as traditional American flavor, packaged into a delicious grilled cheese sandwich. Now for the fun part, I'm just gonna take the bottom of a cup and smash down each and every one of them. So it looks something like this. And we're now gonna add the same seasoning to the other side. Pop this in the oven for 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. 20-minute mark, you want to flip it to the other side. Last bit is just turning on the broiler and to allow the edges to crisp up very nicely.
POV. You're trying to be an aesthetic food vlogger, but the smoke alarm won't shut up.
Look at that cheese pull. Whee, keeps going. This looks so good, especially the crispy potatoes. Cheers. Oh my god, that is so good. And just like that, we ended up making a delicious and absolutely salivating roasted smashed potato grilled cheese sandwich. Like, look at all the layers. If I had to do the boiling and the smashing all in one day, that would have been easily 1 hour tops. So splitting it, one half yesterday and one half today, definitely alleviated the stress. Plus, the best part of the smashed potato is smashing those potatoes. Without further ado, let's do a little taste test. two of my worlds coming together in a beautifully delicious grilled cheese sandwich. So good. I am going to finish my sandwich and then I will most likely see you during dinner time. Bye. Hey bestie, hope you're doing very well today.
She forgot to give you a proper outro to this food vlog. Good going, Vidya.
Thanks. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me on my very first What I Eat and Cook in a very busy and chaotic working week. If you missed part 1 where I show you everything that I meal prep over the weekend, some practical cooking tips, as well as simple recipes you can easily remake, then I'll link that in the description box below. For this particular meal prep and what I eat in a week series, all the written recipes housed under its own little cute corner within our CTD recipe index. When you sign up to our email list, you'll get instant access to over 32 recipes, as well as a love letter from me sent straight to your inbox. And that includes a handy, cute Kickstarter guide that I prepared back in 2014 and wished someone had prepared that for me when I was a beginner cook. But whether you are a beginner cook or a professional in the kitchen, or need a handy South Asian spices and herbs glossary of the 24 most commonly used South Asian herbs and spices that you will find in any desi kitchen, I'll leave that sign up link in the description box below.
If you found this vlog helpful or gave you the nudge to make a recipe, then smash that like button. I know I'm making that smashed grilled cheese. Share this vlog in your WhatsApp group chats and subscribe for more CTD vlogs where I expose the true side of a food.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you so much. See you in the next video and remember to keep smiling. Bye.